All right, so the Tron Ares trailer came out. I'm sure I don't even know if you guys knew this movie was coming out. I
I
don't
did
know if the
not.
rest I don't know if the rest of the world did either, but let's give the trailer a watch.
All right.
Last seen heading northbound. Unit 12, acknowledging dispatch. Already in pursuit.
I'm looking for something. Something I do not understand. Ready? Because there's no going back.
So that's Tron Ares. Hold on one sec. I don't know. What did you guys think?
I
This
mean, looks cool. I assume that Ares is like reference to God of War, right? It's very Mars colored and
30
very
Seconds to
conflict oriented.
Mars, Jared Leto. That's actually the thing that I'm like, if Jared Leto wasn't starring in this movie, I'd be pumped. But this actor I could not care less about is in this franchise that I'm like, I kind of love. Like Tron is this franchise that Disney decides to roll out every 2 decades to give it another shot. Uh,
Is this
I
the
don't.
first time that like Tron world has come to Earth as opposed to like the other way around?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of teased it at the end of Legacy, but that
It's
went
pretty
nowhere.
interesting that, they can now do, looks like they can do permanent lightsaber trails. So
Yeah,
that's handy.
No, the
yeah.
splitting of the car was pretty cool. I'm not gonna
It
lie,
was
that
pretty
was
cool.
that
Well,
was
and the
pretty rad.
twirling batons, right, that leave these ribbons of death in the air. Like what's going on with that?
Well, and then I don't know if you guys noticed, but everything was red. In
Yeah.
the last movie, everything was blue, and I guess in the original movie, it's a little bit of both. But it looks like based off of the information we got from the last movie, something's wrong with the grid, apparently.
I wish
So
I knew what that meant.
the grid, that's the Tron world.
No, I know. I've seen Tron Legacy, and that's like the extent of my Tron knowledge. And I've played that Tron video game on PC, and that is
So
it.
good.
Are you a big Tron guy, Daniel? I guess I just
I
assumed you were.
really liked Tron when it first came out. I'm old enough that I'm older than Tron, and when it came out, I was pumped. I thought it was super cool. They did a lot of you know cool graphic stuff that because it wasn't very detailed, it was super wireframe. It still kind of holds up later. I don't know,
I think
the
it does.
plot doesn't so much, and all that kind of stuff. But they did some really really cool things at the time. Legacy, I was like, yeah, all right. I mean, there's some good ideas in there, and everything looks like Apple designed Material UI kind of stuff,
And
in
Daft
that
Punk.
one. Yeah,
And,
yeah, exactly.
well, which
Right.
did you guys see that Nine Inch Nails is doing this one?
I did
No,
see
I didn't see
that.
that.
The Nine Inch Nails logo at the very end. As a millennial man, I am very excited for that. In my heart, when Daft Punk ended, I was so distraught because I was like, yeah, they can't make another Tron movie without Daft Punk, and they found a worthy replacement, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to wonder about here.
Mhm.
About how it works that immaterial can become material, right? For some reason, it's easy for us to believe the other way. There was a lot of confusion, I think, both in the first Tron and in the second one about what's the difference between running around inside a computer and running around on the internet, right? And it looks like they're probably taking the wider angle view of it this time. And dropping internet stuff into real world stuff. We'll see.
We'll see if
It
they
look
think about it that hard. Sometimes,
Yeah,
you know, you go into movies and you're like, "How
right.
are they gonna make this work?" And then they just don't.
They just
So we'll
just
we'll see.
give it a
Well,
pass.
I
Yeah,
think in each Tron movie, they think about it a little bit less because in the
Right.
first one, they go so far as like, if you're like a programmer at all, or if you work with a computer, there is a program version of you that exists on the grid. And then
right.
the next one, they're like, okay, it's like an isolated grid, whatever. Like, and in this one, it's coming to the real world. So I'm like, I feel like the computer angle is getting dropped a little bit by little bit with each franchise, but I don't
Right.
know. Any other
Well, it's kind of
thoughts?
like it's kind of like the Zelda franchise, right? Like Zelda's there in every game, but almost never is she really the point, right?
Yeah,
And Tron is the same way. Tron was a character in the original one. He was the security program version of Alan, right? The original programmer guy,
he's fighting
and
for the users.
right, fighting for the users, exactly. And now what? Somebody else is fighting for the man. So, we're gonna get a blue in there, and is Tron actually there, or are we just reusing the franchise name?
Yeah, I don't know. They left it ambiguous at the end of that last one. I really, I guess the de aging technology because Legacy was the first time we saw that.
Hmm.
It's gotten better enough now, and you hear Jeff Bridges' voice in the background. I'm assuming they're not going to de-age him, but I don't know. Boxlander, I don't know if he's going to be in this one. I haven't seen him in a cast list, so I think it's just the name at this point.
Hmm.
But maybe, hopefully, they won't like make Jared Leto the new Tron. If they do, all they did an animated series where Elijah Woods plays a program, and he is the new Tron. Like he's being trained by original Tron, and then it got unceremoniously canceled when Disney bought Star Wars, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't need Tron anymore."
Aw, sad.
So I don't know. That was Tron Legacy in our reaction. Maybe we'll do more of these. We'll see.